Are these really the hottest comic books on the market? Welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is shaking YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and we are back with your favorite video, the Hot 10 Comics of the Week breakdown. Now, if you're not familiar with this one, what I do is I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I break them down for you guys, letting you know which books I'm buying and which books I'm staying away from. But before we get started, like every video, I remind you guys, if you're not a current sub of the channel, you're missing out. Hit that sub button. I'm putting out all new content, ready to go, everything collectible for you guys. Do me a solid, hit that like button. It really does help the channel out. And one quick announcement, if you're looking to sell your comic book collection, do me a favor, go to the description of every video I put out and email me, let me know what you got. With that said, let's get into this week's breakdown. Starting off the list at number 10 this week for the second week in a row, it's a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin #1 and the first appearance of Hiroko Hiroto, the grandson of the Shredder. This is also the first appearance of Casey Marie Jones, the daughter of Casey and April. And we just had a CGC 9.9. We had a 10 last week, now a 9.9 this week, sell for $725, up a crazy 56% over the average. We also had a CGC 9.8 sale of $345, up 82% over the average. A 9.8 sold last week for $300. This week it's already up to $345. I said this last week and I'm going to say it again. If you love the story, buy the book. If you don't, stay away from this book right now. There's rumors out there that there's going to be a live action movie pertaining to The Last Ronin. With that said, if you love the book and you want to own it, I'm all for it. If you're buying this book for the grade, stay the hell away. At the 9th spot this week is a copy of X-Men #121 and the first full team appearance of Alpha Flight. And we just had a CGC 9.6 sell for $350, up 9% over that average. But we also had a CGC 8.5 sale of $128, up 10% over the average. I don't know about you guys, but I keep seeing this book for a lot less than these prices go. Now, I'm not looking at 9.6 or 9.8s, but with that said, you could still get a really nice copy of this book well under $100, and that's what I'm willing to spend on it. Over $100, I just think it's way too much money to spend for the first Alpha Flight, but I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. Coming in at number 8 this week is a banger of a Bronze Age key. It is a copy of House of Secrets #92 and the first appearance of the original Swamp Thing, Alex Olsen. And we just had a CGC 7.0 sell for $2,421, up 16% over the average. We also had a CGC 4.5 sale of $1,140, up a whopping 24% over the average. DC is still ruling the roost, especially a lot of Bronze Age DC starting to pick up a little bit of steam. You guys know that James Gunn is going to do these characters right. With that said, I love this book. It's a definite must own. You just have to pick out the grade that you want to own in the collection for the long term. But right now, people are still buying this book, so be very careful. The prices are on the way up, so find one for a deal if you want to own it. Coming in at number 7 this week is a copy of Incredible Hulk #181 and the first full appearance of your boy, Wolverine.
Go fuck yourself.
For some reason, the Key Collector app omitted the sales data when they uploaded the new top 10 this week. So with that said, I went on eBay to see some last sales and I pulled a CGC 8.5 that just sold for $6,400. I also pulled a CGC 7.5 sale, which sold for an insane $6,240. I have no idea how much that's up over the average, unfortunately, because the Key Collector app didn't provide the data. I've been telling you this regarding this book. If you want to own it for the long term, go ahead, buy this book. I think if you're a 20-year holder, you're going to do just fine. With that said, a lot of these Bronze Age Marvel keys, I still think they have room to fall. So if you plan on selling this book within the next 5 years or so, I'd be staying away. She's back. That's right. At number 6 and back on the list is a copy of Uncanny XMen #130 and the first appearance of you-know-who, Dazzler. And we just had a CGC 9.8 sell for $1,700, up 8% over the average. Then we had a CGC 8.5 sale of $235, up a whopping 28% over the average. Another case of a lower grade book going up more percentage-wise over the average. What does that tell you? People buy what they can afford, right? You guys know I'm not buying this book. A lot of hype surrounding Taylor Swift, but I'm starting to believe she is going to play Dazzler in Deadpool 3. Remains to be seen. Either way, if you want to buy your copy, secure yours now. If you don't, I'd be staying away. Back on the list at number 5 this week is a copy of Avengers Annual number 10 and the first appearance of Rogue. This is also the first cover appearance of Mystique, and we just had a CGC 9.8 sell for only $735, up 7% over the average. We also had a CGC 9.0 sale of only $138, up 33% over the average. Again, another case where the lower grade sells for more percentage-wise. What does that tell us? People can afford a 9.0. With that said, if you're a big X-Men fan, you probably want to own this book, and I'm probably sticking to a 9.0 or a 9.2. That's really where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. But with that said, buy the grade that you want in your collection. I just can't see spending $700 and change on a 9.8. Dropping to the 4th spot is some more Uncanny X-Men goodness. It is a copy of Uncanny X-Men number 221 and the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. We all know there's rumors out there right now that Mr. Sinister is going to be the big bad in the new X-Men film whenever it comes out. Either way, we had a CGC 9.8 sell for $660, up a crazy 137% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.6 sale of only $122, up a measly 5% over the average. Again, this is the reverse psychology we've been talking about, right? At a 9.8, this book is up an insane amount. To me, that says right now 9.8s are just way too hot. People are overspending. But hey, if you want to own this book, I am not going to stop you. It is a great key to own. I just rather spend around $100 and change to own this book in a 9.6 than a crazy $600 and change for a 9.8. Back on the list at number 3 this week is a copy of New Mutants 87 and the first full appearance of Cable. And we just had a CGC 9.8 sell for $525, up 12% over the average. This book has been up over the past couple of weeks, over $100 in that time frame. I don't want to spend over $500 for this book. If you can get one for around $475 all the way down to $400, that is where I would be a buyer. I do want to own this book, and a lot of times you could find it for a deal because there are a lot of copies out there of this one. That's what I'd be buying. Anything over than that, I think it's a little bit of a waste of money. At the 2 spot is what else? It is a copy of Wolverine number 1 and the first appearance of Wolverine in his own solo title in this iconic cover by Frank Miller. And again, we had a CGC 9.8 selling for $780, up 17% over that average. Then we had a CGC 9.2 sale of $199, up a crazy 24% over the average. I'm glad to see this book in a 9.2 is back under $200. With that said, you know how I feel about this one. I want to spend under $200 to own this book. A lot of copies out there. I don't see the need spending up to buy it in super high grade. At the top spot this week, who else could it be? It is the man who is going to save the MCU. It is a copy of New Mutants 98 and the first appearance of Deadpool, the Merc with a Mouth.
Whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
And we just had a CGC 9.8 sell for $1,692, up a whopping 21% over the average. What have I been telling you guys? This book was around $1,600, dropped down to $1,500, dropped all the way down to around $1,200, and is now being bought for over $1,600 again. Too much fluctuation for me. I want to own the book at the cheapest price I can get it in a 9.8 or higher with white pages. A lot of copies out there. Yes, I want to own this book, but wait for after this movie to come out, a few months. Let's see where it settles at, and then pounce on your copy for the long term only. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I love doing this list every week. You tell me what you think of it. Do you love it as much as I do? With that said, it is now time for my best buy of the week. And this is a tough choice. Not a lot of books that I really want to own in my collection right now, but I have to do it. It's got to be Incredible Hulk number 181 and the first full appearance of Wolverine. I'm not an advocate of buying it right here, right now, if you're going to let the book go within the next 5 years or so. But if you're a 20-year holder and you're a big Wolverine fan, you have to own this book. It is a a must own. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.